Hi friends, today we are going to see two things in responsive web design. In the two things, one you will use in your projects, and another concept you should not use in your project if you start from scratch. But when you join a company, there are more possibilities that you will be needed to work on existing project. In that case, you won't have complete control over that project. Someone else would have completed 70 to 80 percentage of the project and you will be needed to work from that part. At that time you will need this concept. Okay, so the second one that I am going to teach is important when someone else have already followed that approach, but you should not follow that approach when you start a project from scratch. Keep this in mind. Okay, with that, let us step into our session. I have opened our project, and one thing I have done is from our backup I have taken the about section and brought here. Let me refresh the page. So for this about section, I have completed till the title and description section. In our reference side, it has more content. In left side there is one image, and the right side there are some content. Okay, let it be. Now the first one that I am going to teach you is slightly different from how we did earlier. That is testing our code, testing the responsiveness of our web page. Earlier we were testing this by enabling the developer tools and bringing it on the right side and using this emulator. You will click this and you will find different possible ways. Means you will select a particular device, or you will change the values here. Likewise you will do. This is okay, but it will not give 100% accurate output all the times. So to test in a general way you can use it, but it will not give 100% accuracy all the time. So how you have to test with perfect accuracy? To do that, you have to disable it and click here and take your developer tools outside of the browser just by clicking the first icon. Then come to your browser and take your tab alone into a new window and resize it. Now if you resize your browser, your window, you can see the dimension on the right side. Okay, resize the window, you will see the dimension in the right side, and you have to set where you want to keep your browser. For example, if you want to test your web page for a device width of 768, you have to move it and keep it at 768 and refresh the page. This is the output that you will get in 768 a device with a width of 768. Okay, and you can reduce it further, but there is one drawback with this method. The drawback is you cannot bring it less than 500 pixel. You cannot test your web page with a dimension less than 500 pixel. 500 will be the minimum value. So if you want to test your web page less than 500 pixel means, then you cannot use this method, and you will use our traditional method, that is using the emulator. So we can say in this way, from 320 pixel or the minimum pixel that you target, from that pixel to 500 pixel, you will use this approach. After that, after 500 pixel, you should not use this method. You should consider using browser resizing method, okay, because this will give better output. But even if you join some companies, they may recommend you or they may suggest you to use this one, but my personal experience, resizing the window will give you accurate output. Fine. Okay. With that, we will move on to the next one. That is very important part. It will be needed when you start working on some existing project. Okay. Let us consider I have completed this web page for a larger screen. That's what we did earlier, right? So I have completed this project for larger screen. If you check this page, find out more about this. This font size is for larger screen. If I reduce this, it will not get reduced. The reason is there is no responsiveness for this section. Now what I want to do is I have to reduce the font size for mobile view. Okay, for small screen view, I want to reduce the font size. What is our known practice? We will apply the styles for small screen view first. Means I will inspect this, and if you want to reduce this from 36 to 24, first I will apply here. And then I will copy this, and in my first media query I will increase the size based on my need. And then in the next media query I will further increase based on my need. This is what we did earlier, right? This is how we used to do a responsive web page. But if in case someone have already completed the entire page for large screen, if someone have completed the entire page for large screen and they ask you to make it responsive for small screens, okay, so someone have completed the web page for large screen and they ask you to complete for small screens, how you will write the media queries. That is what we are going to see now. Now I should not change anything here. My first target will be, let me go to my media query. The styles that has been applied is for 1400 and bigger value. Okay, the styles that we have applied is for the largest screen. The styles that I have applied is for the largest screen, and now I need to write necessary styles so that that will be applied for other screens, that is for 1200, 992 and 768, 576 and less than that. How I have to write styles for that? Okay, let me reiterate. Some developer has completed your web page for larger screen and they ask you to make that web page responsiveness by writing media query. How will you do this? This is the task. So how your approach should be to do that? I don't want to disturb our main.css. Instead, I will write one new css, that is responsive.css, and I will include in my page. Okay, and the styles that are written in main.css is for this size. Okay, so when the device size is 1400 or beyond that, then these styles, the all styles should be applied. But when the device size is less than this, then I want to change some styles. So I will copy this breakpoint, put it here. Instead of min width, I will write max, and I will reduce 1 pixel less than this. And let me copy our selector. Section title h2. Now I will reduce the font size little bit. Now it is 36. So 36 pixel is for device size which is more than 1400. Now I will reduce it from 36 to 32. Now I am not comparing the values with the reference website. Just to practice, I am applying my own preferred values. But when you develop the web page, you will apply the current values only with respect to the reference page. Okay, so this style will be this section title h2 font size 32 will be applied when the device is less than 1399. Okay, less than or equal to 1399. And next my media query is, instead of copying this, let me copy this, and 1200. So we have to reduce one value, 1190. So when my device width is less than or equal to 1199, I will apply the, and the another breakpoint is in 92. And then 768. And then next breakpoint, 575. Then that's it. And you will keep reducing the values. Okay, so now you can very well see by comparing these two codes here what we have followed in right side. What we have followed is mobile first approach, which means the styles they have written before media query is the styles that we have written before media query is for mobile view or the small screen view, and we will target some bigger screen size and you will keep increasing the values. Okay, if you follow this method, then your web page will look good. Instead of saying in that way, we can say your code flow will be good. But this is an alternate approach where you want to see the output of large screen first. In this approach, you will like to see the output of large screen first, and you will adapt your web page for small screens. So now this is equal to writing all styles in responsive.css is equal to writing it here. Okay, so whatever I have written here is equal to writing it here because I have called responsive.css after main.css. So main.css will be called first, then responsive.css will be called. Okay, so don't get confused by writing the css on new file. So it is just writing at the bottom of your existing style. Now whatever I have written from 0 to 235 line is for the largest screen, that is screen size which is more than 1400, and I will target the small screens by using max width concept. Okay, so this style will be applied from this calibrasis to this calibrasis from line number 2 to 4. This style will be applied when the device width is maximum of 1399. So from 0 to 1399 this style will be applied, and when the user reduces this device width further, that is when the device width is less than 1200 pixel or less than or equal to 1199, we will reconsider the values values of all elements. So you will write the necessary styles here. This is another approach. This will also give the same output like this one, but the only difference is this approach will give you output of large screen first and small screen last. Okay, so because in default styles you will write the necessary styles for large screen, so you will see the output of large screen first and you will reduce the size. This approach will be very easy to do. Okay, this approach will be very easy for you to do, but you should not do that. For better code practice, to make our code clean and clear and user friendly, you should not use this approach. You should use this approach, but sometimes when you are fixing a bug, okay, you have completed the entire project by this approach, but sometimes when you are fixing a bug which happens between one small screen, for example there is a bug between 572 to 800. In that case from 572 to 800 pixel. If you want to write some styles like fixes, this is what we usually tell when we are giving the last minute fixes. This should be avoided, but sometimes it will be needed to write some last minute styles. At that time only you have to use this max width concept. So this style will be applied when the device width is uh, higher than bigger than 572 and smaller than 800. Okay, that is how you have to write the styles. And I suggest you to forget this for now. I suggest you to forget this approach now and focus on what we taught yesterday and continue this web page and complete at least 3 sections today. You have already completed the banner section, and the next one you can take any other section and complete it. You would have planned your 1 hour for the session today from 11:30 to 11:15 to 12:15, right? You should have planned for um, today's session, but I am sharing this video prior to that, so don't think to watch this after some time. Just block your same calendar from 11:15 to 12:15 and watch this video. The video will be less than 30 minutes, and remaining 30 minutes itself you can spend for practicing and try to finish at least 3 sections today. So end of today you will have 5 sections ready, and all 5 sections will be 100% responsive. When you complete this web page, 100%, then we will showcase your work to different companies. We expect at least you can schedule 2 or 3 interviews if you complete this project perfectly. Okay, and we will need some JavaScript for some cases, like for navigation. You can see it will be like this in small screen, and in large screen it will be shown by default. So for to achieve these things we will need JavaScript support that we will learn in the next class. Apart from that, you can complete almost the entire page, but I don't want you to do that. I just want you to complete just 3 sections today, and yesterday's 2 sections that you should have completed by 11:15. So end of today you should have completed 5 sections of this web page, and please make sure you complete the footer section. Okay, and try to complete the header section if you think you can. Otherwise, do some other sections, and let us continue the JavaScript part in the next session. Thank you.